Welcome to Animal Nonsense. I'm Jess.
I'm David. The noise you can hear in the background is our four-legged co-host.
Yes, Molly.
Your amazing dog. And I recently looked after your dog.
Yeah.
And I really adore doing so. In order to say thank you to her, because it's Easter, I bought her an Easter dog basket.
Okay.
So let me open up this box. We have a fluffy cream egg. And we also have an Easter chick. Quite big for your little mouth, isn't it, Molly? An Easter cuddly toy bag of mini eggs. Easter dog safe chocolate drops.
Oh, amazing. Should we give her one? Oh, she's...
Let me open the bag. One sec.
That's definitely a yes.
It's right. I'm on it, Molly. I promise.
Make sure she does a paw or something.
Molly, sit. Happy Easter, Molly. I love you so much. You are the best dog on earth.
You are so lucky, Molly.
Well,
What do you say?
I'm really sorry the basket's empty, but there is still chocolate drops in there, which I imagine that you're smelling. Happy Easter to you, Molly. Thank you for being so kind and so wonderful to me.
Oh, thank you. That's very generous.
And you are the best dog on earth, and I love you, Molly.
Do you want to keep her in here? Because she will just be...
Yeah, let's keep her in here for fun. I like having background noise. And you've also got some dog-safe chocolate drops. And if anyone is listening, do get dog-safe chocolate drops.
Yes, absolutely don't give normal chocolate because it's poisonous to dogs.
All right, now, I do have one Molly story to report of my time looking after her.
This is like going to parents' evening.
Now, I really love your dog.
Done.
She's the best dog in the world.
Yeah. But...
Right, now, I was staying in your home.
Yes.
And one night I was getting... Actually, that is really disruptive now.
Shall I evict her?
Oh,
with
maybe,
her new
but
toys?
I feel mean. Yeah, if she has her new toys, I won't feel as
She'll
mean.
be very entertained with them. Come on. Let's be back in the house. Come on.
We'll take everything with you, Molly. Oh, do you want your mini eggs too?
Come on then.
All right, so I do have one moment to report of my time
Yes.
with your dog. So I was staying in your home, and one night I was getting out of the shower, and I realised I didn't have my towel. It was on the bed.
Yes.
In the other room, and it was night, and all everything was drawn, and so I wasn't overlooked.
Yeah.
And so I marched the few yards over the landing to get to the bed where the towel was. And so I was driving myself off, and there were no lights on because I don't know how to turn the lights on in your head. And
everything's automated. It's so annoying.
And your dog's got really dark fur.
Yeah.
And so I'm drying,
Yeah.
not really thinking anyone's around. And all of a sudden, I felt and heard a and Molly licked my leg. And I really didn't know she was there. And it really made me jump. And then I thought, oh no. And so in that moment, I thought, oh no, like if I squawk or make a noise, then that's going to be, I didn't want to make her jump. And so I like silently went like, and then I took a few steps back, and you've got like shelves.
Yeah.
Like on the wall. And so like I took a few steps back and like hit my back on the shelves, and everything started like rattling on there. And I was really shocked. And then not only did she not respond to me knocking into the shelves or the panic that she
just
caused,
carried on licking, I imagine.
but I just heard her lick like once more to herself. And then just roll around and snore. As though it had not happened.
Yeah.
I really love her, but that was her one moment.
She does like licking, especially if you've got any kind of like moisturiser on, particularly, or if you've been for a run or something and you're like sweaty.
It really threw me because I just didn't know it was there.
No.
It was like a phantom.
Something from a horror
something.
movie, isn't it?
Right, we are beginning a new segment called Reach Out. And so this is where people can get in touch with the podcast if they want to, and if they've got anything that they would like to ask us. We've had one come in. And so
Lovely.
This is from Andrew, and he's asked two things. First of all,
Hi, Andrew.
how long have you known each other, meaning us?
I can tell you actually, because it's the 10-year anniversary of the play that we did when we met at Chichester Festival Theatre. So we were like the local community cast, weren't we? Supernumeraries.
Well, you had more to do because you're a photographer, so they gave you like a vintage.
They gave me this amazing camera from the 1930s. So that was my job in this. We just had this one scene, didn't we?
That's right, and then we would walk on and bow, which I always felt we didn't really deserve because we'd not done much.
Well, it was one scene where it all turns into a massive riot, doesn't it? So we were all dotted around the theatre. I had quite a lot to do. Like I had specific places to be. I had to take photos at particular times and interact with the cast. And I don't have a clue what you were doing.
I had to turn a table upside down. That
Did you?
Was the sum total of my achievement.
But we did this play. We were working on it for a couple of months, weren't we? And it was just really fun.
Really fun. And out of that, so many things we have done have gone on to blossom. Isn't it remarkable how it's ended up that way? And so I'm really happy I did it for that and many other reasons. Yes, but obviously, you the most. Right, now, a really engaging question. Which animal would you trust to borrow your car? Now, I don't have a car, but I'm going to imagine because I really love the question.
Right.
Do you want to think about it for a moment?
Yeah.
And then I'll count to 3. And then after 3, we'll reveal our animal that has first popped into our head.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Octopus.
Orangutan.
The reason I thought octopus was that there's a lot, I don't drive, but there's a lot you have to do if you're driving.
Yeah.
And they've got 8 limbs. So like one could do the indicator, one the wheel, one the gear stick, one put the music on.
They're also one of the most intelligent animals.
And I reckon you could put a tank on the front seat.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they can exist outside of water for a brief amount of time.
So they could do a short drive.
They could do a short I think also they have like similar intelligence levels to a young child, don't they?
There is a reason that young children don't have driving licenses. But no, I do take your point.
I mean, they've got 8 brains. 9 brains, haven't they? Because they got essentially a brain in each leg and then a brain in their head.
So really, in some ways, they're more advanced than us. I also thought they would be resistant to road rage.
Yeah.
Because they don't have ears.
Do they? Oh, okay.
And so if someone's like, oi, 8 legs, get off the road. Not a bother.
No going insult for an octopus.
But also, say if it had been a spider, you wouldn't point it out to your kids. If like you're being overtook in the fast lane by a spider driving a car, it would be like a horror film.
I feel like that would warrant like observation. No?
But like an octopus, you'd be like, hey kids, look over there's an octopus. Like, they're kind of friendly. Like, that's how we think of octopuses. So I think they'd be a nice, safe driver.
That's interesting.
But go for orangutan.
Well, I've gone for orangutan because they are, I think, probably our closest relatives. And probably like similar sort of size, so they could probably like reach the steering wheel. I've gone for practicalities, but I feel like they've got the right physical form to drive a car, and they're incredibly intelligent. I mean, they really are like genetically, aren't we like 98% at least the same as them?
You realise that I've got no sense of direction. You know that about me. And if you had to be driven by an orangutan or me, which one would you
Probably the orangutan, to be perfectly honest.
Could they be really good? Like, say if you were driving to like a banana tree, I reckon they'd have like an instinct on how to find it, and I wouldn't.
But doing the Mother's Day episode, I did a bit of a deep dive into orangutans, and they are incredibly intelligent and emotionally intelligent as well.
So they'd be like a nice sensitive driver?
Yes, I think so.
Only thing that just occurred to me is that we might have missed a point of the question.
Right.
Well, which animal would you trust to borrow your car? Not which animal would drive the best.
Oh, that's true.
And so, but then I do think, like an orangutan, you think of them as being mischievous.
No. Do you? I don't.
Maybe that's monkeys.
Yeah, like a small, like a little naughty little
like a lemur
capuchin or something like that. Yeah,
act up. So maybe an orangutan would be good. Like an octopus, I think would be quite reliable. But then I've never spent time with one. So
I'd leave it very damp.
Thank you very much, Andrew.
Yeah,
I think that's
you.
a really
that's
good
a
question.
Great question.
If you would like to reach out, animalnonsencepodcast@gmail.com. We really would love to hear from you, mate.
Yeah. So we're Animal Nonsense Pod on Instagram, Facebook, and now TikTok, apparently.
Not yet.
No. Soon.
The Easter story
Yes.
is about the resurrection of Jesus. But prior to his own resurrection, Jesus brought back to life his friend Lazarus. And ever since, the name Lazarus has been used to refer to a return.
Yes. Okay.
It's also used in the animal kingdom. And the name Lazarus taxa refers to an animal who was thought to be extinct but was rediscovered alive. Number 1, the Victorian grassland earless dragon. It looks like a Pixar dragon. My heart really melted.
Oh, it's so cute.
Rediscovered in 2023, thought to have gone in 2019. And I can really see how no one might know it's there, because looking at the photo that you just did,
Yeah.
it's almost indistinguishable from cute gravel. And like, you go to the beach, you end up with half a ton of like shingle. Then have a really good look, because there might be a dragon in there.
I imagine he's quite tiny.
Yeah, really, really small, about 1.5 inches.
In somewhere, some country somewhere. We're not sure where.
The next one
Yeah.
is not so adorable. It looks like a fish mated with a shoe.
Okay.
This is the coelacanth, not your typical Lazarus animal. Let me show you this.
Okay. It looks really ancient. It looks like it's a fish that's existed for millions of... I mean, that specific one.
No, you're exactly right. It was not lost for a few years. It was lost for millennia.
Right.
Thought to have become extinct 66 million years ago. It was found by a local fisherman in South Africa in 1938.
Right.
The fisherman had no idea of the importance of his catch, but a museum employee, Marjorie Courtney Latimer, happened to observe it coming in, examined the fish.
What are the chances that she just happened to be there?
Realised it was one of the most important zoological discoveries of the 20th century.
Yeah, wow.
66
Amazing.
million years believed to be extinct, and it was alive.
And he's just been flying under the radar.
All right, I have another one for you. The Megachile Pluto, the world's most giant bee. 4 times the size of the honeybee, nicknamed the Flying Bulldog. Vulnerable to extinction because of palm oil plantations taking over the habitat.
Yeah, okay.
One has not been seen since 1971, and then 39 years later, a lone female was found eating up a storm in a nest of termites.
Oh, I didn't think bees would eat termites.
Well, apparently for this particular breed of bee, this is their preferred food of choice.
Yeah.
Is literally her favourite food.
Yeah.
And it's rather like 39 years after the last human being recorded, finding one adult human female eating an enormous Easter egg of chocolate from the inside out. Do you mind closing your eyes but holding this up in front of you?
Yeah, okay. I feel like a musical interlude is coming on.
I was thinking about all things Easter.
Yeah.
And I wanted to remember George Formby. He always played a ukulele. Do you know George Formby?
No, to be honest, I was thinking George Foreman, who made the grills. But I know this now to be a different person.
Now, George, one quick aside about George Foreman. So the grills, just for anyone who doesn't know, you would put meat on the grill. I mean, I wouldn't, I'm vegetarian, but people who do eat meat would. And then it would cook off, like fry off all the fat. And there would be like a collecting tray for the fat.
Yeah.
And my granddad had a George Foreman grill, and he would do all of that process, and then he would drink the fat out of the collecting tray, which really undermined the purpose of having the grill in the first place. Anyway, so George Formby, he was 1930s, 1940s biggest entertainer in Britain. He was from Lancashire, hence the accent I'm about to have to adopt. But he would write songs, and he was thought of as being a bit rude, a bit bawdy.
Yeah.
But I think that the part of his work that I really responded to is he could be very real, and I thought it was rather lovely. And so I thought an animal-related song in honour of the occasion of Easter in his style might be quite fun. So this is a song I wrote about a rabbit. Robbed away from morning light, one rabbit exists out of sight, and no one else is in his home, and that is what is real. Oh, he really does not know a love that reaches to his soul, and he exists but on his own, and that is what is real. But one night he met a woman rabbit who make him understand why he's on earth. and it will not matter how long he's been waiting. He's ready for it now. Romance is racing. He won't remember long ago. Only say yes and not no. And one by one rabbits will grow, and love will become real. And love will become real. All right, happy Easter.
Oh, bravo. Time for our good news roundup. Brazil has eliminated mother-to-child transmission of HIV. Norway has been deforestation-free for a decade straight, following a complete ban on deforestation brought in 2016. The Netherlands have approved a nationwide ban on consumer fireworks that will kick in time for New Year's Eve 2027 to protect animals, improve safety and reduce air pollution. Przewalski's wild horses have been reintroduced to the Iberian Highlands in Spain as part of a rewilding project. Australia is on track to become the first country in the world to eliminate cervical cancer. Portugal has opened Europe's first sanctuary for elephants rescued from circuses and zoos.
Do listen again for more animal nonsense and reach out